All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the NerdyMark SuperShow. Now, I'm going to try and do now. The reason why I'm doing this, and I'm already screwed up on the intro. But hey, everybody, Sid here, aka the Nerdy Mark. Welcome to the NerdyMark SuperShow. This is a long form video that I'm going to be doing. This is going to be kind of my way of saying sorry for not having a video last week for AEW and NXT. Things got super busy, and as it has been getting for just this past few weeks. But before we begin, I guess some good news. I've got a new job. That's right. I finally got a new job. I got hired last week. I start this coming Monday. So I'm very excited for that. And the cool thing about this company is they actually sent me some free swag. They sent me this little Yeti water cooler where I did put a little bit of the bubbly in it. Well, not actual bubbly. I mean like the club soda or whatever. So I might be using that more. Well, I'll be using that more in the office really than here. And they also gave me like this little bottle opener, like where you can open like champagne bottles and stuff because I drink champagne like that, I guess. So I guess, yeah, you can open up real bubbly with that, right? Anyway, but that's gonna be awesome. Really excited. Another thing, I guess I can and Kevin Cabeza, how are you doing? You watched the I Quit match with Tony Storm and Kaylee Ray on NXT UK instead of this show. What do you mean? You're not watching this show, or you're not watching? What are you talking about? The other Super Show that that came up, or are you talking about this one, Kevin? Please clarify. But yeah, I'm just saying like that. So I'm just excited. For finally starting my new job next week. It's been about a month since I've been unemployed. As in case you all didn't know, I did get fired from my last job. I don't want to get into reasons, but I did lose that job, and now I'm here. And by the way, I'm wearing my Paradigm Shift t-shirt, which I feel is fitting a lot better. I've been doing intermittent fasting, and I feel like I've definitely gotten a lot more getting some results. I feel like I've definitely gotten skinnier, even though here I still got the little double chin, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you can see any results right there. I mean, there you go. No, I'm sorry. Not until I'm satisfied with my physique will I, flex my muscles, just go like that, I guess. Anyway, so yeah, but today, like I said, we're gonna be doing Super Show. The Indian. What's up, John Kearns? How you doing, John? I know you missed me over here, so yeah. So we're gonna talk about a few things. Welcome to the stream, John. We're gonna talk about a few things. We're gonna talk about some news that happened earlier this week. Then we're going to get into our NXT and AEW reviews. We're going to do NXT first and then AEW because after I do both reviews, I'm going to be talking about predictions for AEW's Revolution, which is happening this Saturday. Now, I will not be live tweeting this Saturday like I usually try to do for pay-per-views, but because I will, yes, AEW absolutely was A+, John. I agree. I agree, especially after what happened earlier today on at Saudi. Anyway, but yeah, so it was yeah. So yeah, I mean, hey, if WWE can put off a Super Show that's actually shit, I can use my limited resources to give you guys some good content. Okay, so there you go. Anyway, but I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna get into that. So we'll talk about everything a little bit. I'm not going to talk about Super Showdown because I didn't fully watch it. I just saw the results, but John here did. So, John, if you guys are gonna review it on Armbar Audio, you can leave it in the chat. But yeah, let's kind of get into some of the news that I have here. So the first news, we do unfortunately start with some tragic news. The news, and it is the fact that New Japan Pro Wrestling around this time does do their annual anniversary tour. Along with that, the New Japan Cup as well. Unfortunately, due to the coronavirus and all that good stuff and that whole scare, they have been forced to cancel all dates in March. Now, I don't religiously watch New Japan Pro Wrestling as much as I want to, but whatever I've seen of it, I've been absolutely impressed, and I absolutely love New Japan for, like I said, whatever I've seen. So this is a very disheartening for me. John and I and Tim were talking on our little Facebook chat, and John has valiantly volunteered to go off and fight coronavirus for us. So good luck on your crusade, John Kearns. I'm rooting for you. Just don't bring coronavirus over here to Texas, please and thank you. Anyway, but no, all joking aside, it sucks. Absolutely. I think a disease coming in and deriving us of some damn good wrestling. Yeah, it sucks, honest to God. But at the end of the day, health is more important for sure. And I kind of understand why New Japan is doing that. So I don't have too much, I'm not too angry about it. It's definitely very disheartening, but also, like I said, the health of the stars and the health of the people of Japan is a lot more important. And, since coronavirus is in China right now, and Japan is like almost like their next door neighbor. So, you don't want to take you can never be too careful. So yeah, but everybody out there, stay safe, clean your hands, wash your hands, I guess. That's like the one thing I saw. I looked online and looked up coronavirus, and they're like, oh, you can prevent coronavirus by washing your hands. So I mean, okay, fine. But in all seriousness, I do wish the people of China I can't say a speedy recovery, but I do wish that that we do find a cure for this disease, and we don't have to worry about it as much, and all that good stuff. But until then, let us all take precautions to make sure that we ourselves are not getting this deadly virus. Correct? So that's that. Another big news this week. Let me just look at my notes. Another big news this week. Actually, you know what? Hold on. I got it on my phone. I can just look it up here. Another news this week was that. Oh God, scroll up. Oh, sorry. I'm on the wrong notes. Yeah, there you go. Matt Hardy. Now, Matt Hardy has been written off like twice from TV by Randy Orton when Randy Orton obviously hit him with an RKO and the concerto, and then Matt Hardy came back with a neck brace and asked Randy Orton to come out and confront him. They were going to have a match, but of course Hardy wasn't medically clear, but he still came out, still got his ass whooped by Randy Orton. And now he's been making videos on his YouTube channel, Matt Hardy Brand. Obviously, he's been doing the whole free the delete thing. A lot of interesting hints in that, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But Matt Hardy, he is definitely teasing that he's going to leave WWE. So and a lot of people do want him to go to AEW, which I can definitely understand. Honest to God, I'd be okay with it. I'd be totally fine with Matt Hardy in AEW. But of course, WWE, they're like the kid in elementary school, who just bought that brand new fresh box of 24 or 48 color Crayola crayons, and they just don't share with anybody. They don't want to share with anyone. That's what WWE is. They have to keep. They may not use. They may not use but like 3 of the colors, but they want to keep all the stack. They want. You need like friggin', coral colored crayon or something. They'll have it, but they won't give it to you, even though they never use it. That's literally how WWE is with their superstars. They barely use any of them, not barely use. Okay, that's the lie. But they don't use a lot of them, but they're not willing to let them go and flourish outside of WWE, because apparently that's a bad name on WWE. Hold on one second. Okay, good. My chair was a little bit. Let me come down a little bit. Yeah, there you go. I shrunk myself for you guys. You're welcome. Anyway, so that's kind of interesting. They're actually trying to do the same thing with Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy has been offered a contract with WWE, where he would most likely be working with NXT. It's not a bad idea, but I don't really see Matt Hardy as an NXT guy. I don't really think Hardy would fit the mold of NXT, in my opinion. Now, I would love to be proven wrong for sure. Absolutely. I mean, you're gonna prove me wrong. Go ahead. Go ahead, Triple H. Prove me wrong. Put him on NXT and you know, make him a legit star on NXT. That would be cool. Uh, John says, there's no reason that WWE should have the amount of talent they have if the same 5 people are going to be on TV for decades. Yeah, exactly. And hold on. Oh, it's okay. Yeah, it's effing sass. Yeah. I don't know what you mean by sass, but yes, it will. I guess if you're saying it's ass, then yeah, it is. It is ass. It's stupid. Yeah, but no, I agree with John. Yeah, it's sad. Okay. Yeah, it is sad. That sucks. Yeah, I know. I mean, because we have to bear Roman Reigns getting dog food poured on him like every damn week. While people like Chad Gable, yes, Chad Gable, I refuse, again, I refuse to call him by the name that they want me to call him because it's Chad Gable and he's awesome. I don't want to call him that other name. Yeah, see what I mean? You got people like Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro who are freaking, reenacting the Saturday Night Live skit of like, the whole more cowbell thing. I mean, like, it's just ridiculous, and then, you got this whole cuckold storyline with Lashley, Lana, Rusev, and Liv Morgan. And they're kind of trying to separate, if not, but not separate the parties. So it's kind of weird. Ricochet would be a main event star in AEW or New Japan. Hell, even Impact. I agree. I totally agree. I heard Ricochet got squashed in like 30 seconds by Brock Lesnar. Freaking goddamn Saudi Prince. Piece of shit. Anyway, Saudi Prince is going to see this and he's going to kill me. So, hey, it's been fun, guys. Anyway, so, yeah. So it's interesting anyway, but yeah, but I don't see Matt Hardy fitting the NXT mold that much. I think he's better off elsewhere, whether it is AEW or if he's able to work out a deal with Impact and let him come back as broken Matt Hardy again. I'm okay with that as well. At this point, anywhere but WWE, honest to God, like anywhere but the main roster, because they don't do anything with him either. I mean, look, Matt Hardy is no spring chicken. He's in his 40s and whatnot. So he's pretty much done everything in that company. He doesn't need WWE anymore. I know they said that they want to retire in WWE and whatnot. It doesn't matter. I think the whole thing with broken Matt Hardy, or what they tried to do and make it woken Matt Hardy, it didn't really go so well. So that sucks. So I think Matt would be better off at AEW. There's been a lot of hints on his Free the Delete series. If you have not watched Free the Delete on Matt Hardy's YouTube channel, I would highly recommend you check that out. It's really good. It's very entertaining. Okay. So yeah, I wanted to readjust my chair again. I was getting really uncomfortable. My knees were buckling. Anyway, yeah, so I think Matt should just leave WWE at this point because, his contract is up this Sunday. So, we can see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm looking forward to hopefully Matt Hardy in the future. We can see I hope to see him do some good things, honest to God. So we'll see about that. Next up, I remember this one. Next up, Lance Archer has signed with AEW. That's right, the Murder Hawk, Lance Archer. Everybody dies. He is signed with All Elite Wrestling. It was announced on AEW's AEW's Instagram and Twitter. Actually, on Lance Archer's Instagram, like the day before it was announced, he uploaded the WCW. He posted the WCW logo on Instagram. I thought that was interesting. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So yeah, all this kind of finally culminated in Lance Archer being part of AEW. So that should be interesting. I'm excited to see what he does. I have a couple of theories regarding both Matt Hardy and um, Lance Archer. I'll talk about that when we get to our predictions towards the end. But that's all the news I have for now. I think that, first of all, I think Lance Archer is going to be great. AEW does need some more bigger guys, and Lance Archer is fantastic. And with the rumor that Brian Cage is coming his way to AEW, that would be pretty awesome too. So definitely, the big guys are getting some more love in AEW, which is awesome. I do wish they would sign Jeff Cobb permanently onto AEW and let him just kind of go around and have a run as a monster. That would be cool. I'd be down with that. But anyway, that's kind of what I think. Again, Lance Archer, welcome to AEW. Congratulations. Everybody dies. And also, it doesn't hurt that he is from Dallas, Texas, right here. Hook 'em horns. Well, that's the Longhorns, Austin, Texas, right? But I don't know why. I don't know why I do this when I say he's from Texas. But yeah, he is from Texas, like your boy from Dallas. So obviously, I'm very excited to see a fellow Texan, in this position. So with that being said, oh, by the way, John, I don't know if you're still on the show, but in case you're watching, I'm not a big fan of Sammy Guevara anymore because I heard that he does milk first in cereal. So I can't support that. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. So anyway, let's get down into it. Oh my God, what's wrong with me? Let's get right into this week's shows. This time, like I said, we'll start with NXT. So we begin NXT, and I didn't even go to the page, but we begin NXT. Okay, sorry. Yes, we begin NXT with Cameron Grimes taking on Dominik Dijakovic. Now, this was a very good match. I really, really liked this one. I thought this was amazing. Hold on, let me turn up the gain on my mic real quick. Hold on one sec. All right, yeah, I think that looks a little loud. That's a bit louder. Hold on. Okay. I think that should be better. Hold on. Okay. It should be good. Okay. So, this was a really good match. I liked seeing these two big, agile men going at each other. It was great. Good stuff. I mean, I kind of know what to expect from both these men, so I was not very I was not disappointed at all. So they all played all the hits. It was great, and the match finally ended when it looks like Dijakovic was gonna win. He was on the outside on the apron. Then Damian Priest comes out with a nightstick, thinking he's big boss man. Comes out with a nightstick, hits Dominik Dijakovic on the surgically repaired leg, and Dijakovic does beat a 10 count. He comes in, but he gets a cave in from Cameron Grimes. Grimes picks up the victory, so that was cool. So I'm excited to see this rivalry between Dijakovic and Priest. So I'm looking forward to this one a lot. But moving on, next match we did have. Oh yeah, up next we did have the Prince Finn Balor coming in and say and kind of cut a promo, basically just kind of highlighting everything he's done in 2020 already. Well, not even 2020, like just ever since he's come back to NXT. He's like, I've built everything. I build brands. He's like, I did it in Japan. I did it in Mexico. I did it here in NXT. I've won I've run the Intercontinental. I've been an Intercontinental champion. I've been a Universal champion, even though it was for one day. And I've been an NXT champion. So he's like, anyone can get it. Matt Riddle got it. Johnny Gargano got it. And basically he's saying who's next. He didn't say who's next because that's Goldberg's thing. But basically he's just like, we're about to see what's next for Finn Balor. But then Fabian Eichner and Marcel Barthel interrupt, and they say the ring general Walter, the NXT UK champion, sends his regards. And they both come in. Finn Balor tries to fend them off and beat them all up, and he is able to fend them off for a little bit, but the numbers game does catch up to him. They both beat up on Finn Balor, leave him laying, and it looks like we're getting a feud between Imperium and Finn Balor now. This time, I think it's time. I think it's time for Balor Club to finally be a thing. Now, I actually wanted to run this by everyone who's watching this. If you're watching this afterwards, you can leave it in the comments. I would really like to do a fantasy booking video on the Balor Club. I know I've said a couple of years ago that I wouldn't delve into fantasy booking too much, but the thing is, I've changed my mind. Because I really love the fact I love like the creative freedom that you get with well, I mean, everyone has the creative freedom outside of WWE. I'm just saying I really love the fact. I love the whole idea of a universe where the WWE is basically at your beck and call. They basically do what you want to do. Like, what if you could write, a storyline for the WWE and they accepted it? What would it be? I have done fantasy booking videos before. I did a couple of them on my Instagram. I did one for the Money in the Bank, the women's, everything happening with the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. And I did one for a Roman Reigns heel turn back when Shane McMahon was still, on screen. So first of all, I will not be doing any more Roman Reigns heel turn videos because they will keep changing. So there's that. And I mean, if you want me to do it, yeah, look, pair him up with the Usos and have him attack freaking Ricochet. I don't know. Well, oh wait, Ricochet's on on Raw. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't know. Have him attack I don't know, somebody, and some babyface, some white meat babyface, and then there you go. Roman's a heel. There you go. That's all you got to do. Just team him up with the Usos and let him go after a babyface, and boom, there you go. That's all you got to do. Okay, but I genuinely want to do fantasy booking, but I don't want to do it unless you guys want to see it. So, because I want to bring up a little bit more different content on this channel. So I would love to do fantasy booking. So let me know. And the first fantasy booking video would be Balor Club. Would be how I would do a Balor Club. How I would create the Balor Club faction. What would their feuds be? What would their would they have a title run? What would their title runs be like? Who would they feud against? All that good stuff. How they would form. Obviously, that's the beginning. So all that good stuff. If you would like to see something like that, please let me know, and I will do it. But yeah, I do think it is time for Balor Club to form, like as an actual faction. So, and I'll talk about obviously who I would have in the faction too. Again, all that good stuff. So let me know if you would like to see a fantasy booking video of the Balor Club down the line. So hopefully, I would need some time though, just to kind of hash it all out and write out everything. So yeah, but let me know if that's something that you would like to, like I said, see down the line. But anyway, yeah, this is interesting. So it looks like our next feud for Finn Balor is Walter. So yeah, that's awesome. But next up, we have Xia Li, my wife, taking on Mia Yim in a decent match. The main story here is Dakota Kai interrupted. Excuse me. Dakota Kai and her new bestie Raquel Gonzalez interrupt, and she basically is saying, "Remember when you stole my spot at War Games and then I took it back? Well, I think it's a good time to address it now." So she basically wants payback for that. Obviously, this distraction allows Xia to roll up Mia and win the match. Raquel Gonzalez gets in the ring, starts beating up on Mia. Xia does try to get involved and beat up on Raquel Gonzalez. It's no longer Reina Gonzalez. Who is that? I don't know. But Raquel Gonzalez. And yeah, because apparently Raquel sounds more like a villain than Reina. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, they beat up on. Xia tries to beat up on Raquel, but it doesn't work. She gets whooped. Xia, my bed is right here. If you need some healing. Anyway, but God, I feel so creepy. I'm so sorry. Yeah, but yeah, that was cool. It was all right. It was what it was. So it looks like we're getting Mia Yim versus Dakota Kai. So that should be an interesting feud. Although next week we are getting a steel cage match between Tegan Knox and Dakota Kai. That should be really good. I'm excited for that one. Um, we then get Tommaso Ciampa taking on Austin Theory in what was a really good match as well. I thought this was fantastic. I really liked it. Then it was good. It was my first time really seeing Austin Theory. Um, and I like him. I like Austin Theory. He's good. That's really all I'm going to say. Again, I didn't really take notes on all these matches, so I can't really tell you like all the spots. But yeah, but finally, Ciampa hits the fairy tale ending to win the match, and then afterwards, Johnny Gargano comes out. Gargano and Ciampa beat each other up. Theory tries to get involved, but gets fended off by Ciampa. But this distraction allows Gargano to take the advantage. He then sits on the ring apron and does like the slow clap like this, like what Ciampa does, right? He claps and then he does this whole thing. He basically mocks Ciampa doing that. He has a DIY t-shirt hanging from his waist, which he, I guess, and then Gargano gets off the apron and throws Ciampa onto the entrance ramp, strategically on the NXT Takeover Tampa Bay logo. Symbolism, So yeah, I mean, yes, we get it. Those two are gonna have a match at Takeover Tampa Bay. We get it. Okay. Anyway, yeah, this was fine. Again, why we're getting Gargano versus Ciampa, I don't know. Why Gargano couldn't have waited until Ciampa got the title. I mean, at least wait for him to get the title. I wouldn't have minded if we had Gargano versus Ciampa for the NXT title. That would have been fine. But no, they have to give Ciampa, they have to have him rehab for 8 whole months just so he can get his life back, just so he can get Goldie back. And then all of a sudden, they just say, oh, wait, Johnny Gargano still hasn't had his rematch with Tommaso Ciampa, so we need to have him do that. But this time, we're going to reverse the roles. I mean, come on. Like, just get over it. Honest to God. At least, you know what? At least they could have given the title to Ciampa, turn him heel, and then after a lengthy run, have Gargano take it off of him. That would have been fine. That would have been totally fine. But no, they had to just wait. They couldn't wait for at least a year to do this damn feud. Well, okay, that's not true. They did wait about a year. But no, they could have waited a year after Ciampa's return. No, after Ciampa won the title. He could have won the NXT title, kept it for about a year, then we could have had this feud. That would have been cool. But no, we have to have it now. For what? For what? I have no idea. This is stupid. Okay? I mean, don't get me wrong. Matt, don't get me wrong. It's going to be a good match, no matter what. Okay? But we don't need it at this point. So why? I don't get it. Anyway, hold on one sec. I think John sent me some text message. Yeah. I agree with this. Hold on one sec. One sec. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, I'm not gonna respond to anything anymore there. Next up, let's talk about Killian Dane taking on Bronson Reed, the battle of the big boys. That's right, the resident thick boy Ozilla taking on the Beast of Belfast, Killian Dane. That was a great match here, man. We had 2 big men matches on this card. That was cool. I liked it though. I liked it a lot. It was a much better match than I expected it to be. But Bronson Reed had a really good showing here. I think there's a lot of good things for this man, for this kid, this guy, kid, man. I don't know. Shit, I don't know. But yeah, it was good. But of course, Dane did win with the Vader bomb, and it was really good. It was a good match. I liked it. We'll see what's next. I mean, it looks like there's a lot of moving parts in the North American title picture. You got Bronson Reed down the line, but for right now, you got. But yeah, no, you got You got I'm sorry. You have people like obviously Keith Lee. You got Dominic Dijakovic. You got Damian Priest. You have Killian Dane. You have a lot of moving parts in this whole thing. I'm smelling possibly a fatal four-way between Dijakovic, Priest, Reed, and Dane down the line. That would be awesome. I would love that. So John actually sent me a message um, on Facebook. For some reason, he decided not to post it here, but he basically gave me a list of people who would benefit from leaving WWE. So we'll take a little break, and we're gonna go talk about this real quick. A list of people who would benefit from leaving WWE: Apollo Crews, yes; Bo Dallas, Curtis Axel, yeah, for sure; Cedric Alexander, absolutely; Kurt Hawkins, sure; Drew Gulak, yes; EC3, for sure. I think EC3 is on his way to AEW because he did take a picture with Chris Jericho, who said that there are big plans for him. So possibly we could see him in AEW as part of the Inner Circle. That would be cool. Grand Metalik, yeah, Grand Metalik for sure. Like, yeah, he should. Heath Slater. Oh yeah, no, we said Heath Slater. Grand Metalik, Heath Slater, yes, for sure. Jason Jordan, yeah, but the thing is, Jason Jordan's injured and he has a neck problem, so he's a producer in WWE. Jinder Mahal, no, I have to disagree with that because Jinder Mahal is Jinder Mahal is crap, so he won't benefit anywhere he goes. He's just gonna suck for the rest of his life. Kalisto and Lindsay Dorado. Now these two are apparently their contracts are running out pretty soon. So they definitely will be free agents down the line. Nia Jax, we'll see. I mean, because she's still in the Performance Center, so we'll see. Yeah, he's only crap because of WWE. Yeah, I guess, but I don't like Jinder. I just don't like him. I'm not a fan. I know he's Indian, but I'm just not a fan of his. I'm sorry. Okay, but Kalisto into Dorado. Nia Jax, we'll see with Nia Jax when she does make her return, how they treat her. I mean, if they just treat her like crap, then yeah, I would say she should leave as well. Ricochet, yeah, I can definitely see Ricochet. I would honestly just send Ricochet back to NXT because he needs to win the NXT title at some point. And he barely got a run with the North American title. He lost it on his first freaking defense. That sucks, Shelton Benjamin, yeah, big time, yes. Chad Gable, yes. Thank you for saying Chad Gable and not the name that they're giving him now. Forgotten Sons. Now, Forgotten Sons, I'm going to talk about in just a sec because they did have a match this week, and I did like where they are. I feel like they are giving them some sort of direction, but we'll see. Timothy decided to hold on. Tim Farley of Armbar Audio just also decided to chime in and said Cesaro. Yes, I would agree. Cesaro absolutely should leave WWE and come to AEW. Another person I would say, a couple of other people I'd like to add to that list: Shinsuke Nakamura, Sami Zayn, Rusev for sure. I would say Dolph Ziggler, but whatever. Did we say Apollo Crews? Yes, he said Apollo Crews. Yeah, those people for now. I think those guys would benefit a lot from leaving WWE and going elsewhere. Zack Ryder, maybe I would say because his momentum has been absolutely killed. So, that sucks. Yeah, that's good. That's good enough for me. I would say that though, yeah, but that's a good list of people who should leave WWE. But yeah, anyway, we're not gonna talk. We're gonna keep moving on though. Speak of the devil, we have the Grizzled Young Veterans taking on the Forgotten Sons. Now, the Grizzled Young Veterans apparently started talking smack about America, and of course, the good old glory American boys, the Forgotten Sons. They're all, of course, former Marines and everything. So again, thank you for your service, Forgotten Sons. That is one thing we won't forget. Don't worry. But anyway, but the Forgotten Sons, they are going through this whole um effing Gibson. Effing Gibson. Yeah, if you shoes off if you hate Zach Gibson, right? Yep, shoes off, shoes off. I don't have any shoes on, so I can't take my shoes off. I can go downstairs and bring them and take them off if you want, but I'll do that some other time. Anyway, yeah. So this was good. This was a decent match. It looks like Grizzled Young Veterans are on this like America kind of a kick. Honestly, yeah, it's a way to get cheap pops because you had people chanting USA, but you know what? It kind of works. If they're gonna give them this whole patriotism gimmick, honestly, I'd say just go for it because this is what I'm looking for from Forgotten Sons. Like at that, because Forgotten Sons in the beginning, they literally, they were forgotten for a long time. But if you give them this whole Old Glory kind of gimmick, I'm fine with it. I'm totally fine with three veterans, coming in and instilling patriotism, trying to instill patriotism in the hearts of the NXT universe, and I wouldn't mind if they even eventually turned heel and made everybody sing the Pledge of Allegiance, or not sing, like cite the Pledge of Allegiance every time they came in. Like that would be fine too. I mean, you can do all kinds of cool shit with that. Like that personally, I think that perfectly works. All three of these men, former Marines, and they fought for this country, and now they're coming in and they're trying to do what they got to do to give back to the United States. Well, I mean, they pretty much did their time for the country, but they're basically saying trying to get more appreciation for America, for the NXT universe. I'm okay with that. Oh, by the way, Grizzled Young Veterans did win this match, but it looks like that's the feud we're gonna get for them and the Forgotten Sons. This was not a bad match, by the way. It was pretty good. I liked it. So yeah, I liked it. It was yeah. That's all I got to say, really. Again, I don't have much else to say about Forgotten Sons, but like I said, if they're gonna commit to this America gimmick, I'm okay with it. If they're gonna commit to this America kind of gimmick, I'm fine with it. Go for it. I would say just go for it. Okay, but own it. Seriously, own it. Don't just pussyfoot around. Just own the damn gimmick. Okay. Sorry. Oh. Now we get to our main event. This is the Queen, Charlotte Flair, taking on the EST of NXT, Bianca Belair, in what was a very good match. This match has gone on my list of best matches of February. It was great. It was awesome. I think Bianca Belair. Hold on. Bianca and Charlotte was actually a dream match of mine, and it was everything that I wanted from these two women. So I am totally happy with this match. I think you should go watch it. Just go watch this match because anything I say will not do justice for how good this match was. I thought this is fantastic all around. Excuse me. Of course, the match finally ended when Bianca speared Charlotte. Then Charlotte got up and speared Bianca, gave a spear of her own, and then the natural selection 1, 2, 3. Charlotte won. After the match, oh yeah, by the way, I forgot to mention, Charlotte was like the full-fledged, just owned the whole heel character in this. She basically, she's the queen. So like even when she was coming in to NXT, like in backstage, William Regal received her. She basically asked him to get her bags. Like, holy shit, that's pretty crazy. I love that. I love that. She had the referee hold the ropes open for her. She had that referee take off her robe and everything. That's the only thing he got to take off. Don't, be too jealous. Anyway, be jealous of Andrade. I'm just saying. Anyway, but yeah, this was cool. I like the heel character that she's portraying, this entitled woman. She's very entitled. And I love it. And then, and then after the match, we had Charlotte get the chair and break Bianca's ankle. All the while, Rhea Ripley's music was playing. Rhea Ripley took her sweet time to get into the ring, because she has to do the whole foot stomp thing for her entrance. So That was weird. I don't know why they didn't just play her music and had Rhea run into the thing. Did they say like every time she gets into the ring, she has to do the foot stomp? Because I mean, as cool as it is, Bianca Belair is over there and she's dying. If you're gonna be a babyface and save her ass, go save her ass. I mean, what are you doing? Anyway, that was weird. That was a weird way to end off NXT, which was otherwise a solid show. I liked it. It was good. Let's move on to AEW Dynamite. So, AEW Dynamite started off very explosively. So, definitely living up to the name Dynamite. But AEW starts off with the 30-minute Iron Man match between Kenny Omega and Pac. Now, this match also came on my list. Excuse me. What a fantastic bout this was. I loved it. I loved everything about it. Of course, this is the go-home show before AEW Revolution, so remember that. This was awesome, man. Like I just thought this was great. I mean, this is like a perfect rubber match and a perfect conclusion to this feud. Though the feud didn't have too much of a build, in my opinion, but it was still really good. I still really liked it. Obviously, I mean, it was this feud obviously is not Omega Okada. Like, I don't think anything is going to top that for now. For now, okay? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there are other feuds that'll come about in the future. But from what I've seen so far, Omega's best, feud was obviously Kazuchika Okada back in New Japan. But anyway, this was good though. I think both of these men are technically sound wrestlers, and they're just doing everything that they can to try to put each other down and get as many pinfalls. So Kenny Omega does get the first fall because Pac attacks him with a chair. Then Pac does use that momentum and to hit the Black Arrow and get his first fall. And that doesn't happen, by the way, until like 15 minutes into the match. So that was crazy. It was literally just 15 minutes of these guys being just showing off their technical prowess, and I loved every minute of it. So, and the match did finally end when we had one fall apiece and the timer ran out, and then Justin Roberts announced that it goes to sudden death. Kenny Omega does hit the one-winged angel to win the match, giving him some momentum towards his match against the Young Bucks this coming Saturday. So it was really good. Again, I would suggest you go check this match out because it was great. Up next, we had the Inner Circle taking on the Jurassic Express. This was, I think, after seeing that intense bout between Omega and Pac, I think the fans needed like a breather, and that's what this was. It was very good, very fun match, very lighthearted match in my opinion. Good stuff here. I liked it a lot. Jurassic Express work amazing as a team. Inner Circle works amazing as a team. And of course, Inner Circle was represented by Santana and Ortiz and Sammy Guevara. It was great, man. I thought, just great tag team wrestling here. Luchasaurus obviously had a lot of time to shine. Marco's stunt kind of being like the real MVP of this match. The match finally ended when it's Jungle Boy and Sammy Guevara in the ring. And then Ortiz hands Sammy Guevara the ball sack, as my sister calls it, the big old the sock with the baseballs in it. We call it the ball sack. I mean that's what it is. Basically he's got the ball sack in his hand. Darby Allin comes in and takes it away from Sammy, and that was that. And then finally, this allowed Jungle Boy to pick up the victory for the Jurassic Express. Finally, then after that, Darby Allin basically said that it was basically announced that Darby versus Sammy would be happening at Revolution. That's going to be a really good match. Cannot wait for that. Next up, we had the Best Friends taking on the Butcher, the Baker, and the Candlestick Maker. Yes, I'm going to keep calling the Butcher and the Blade that because I don't care about them. after the I forgot to mention, after the Pac Omega match, Orange Cassidy confronted Pac, and Pac basically decked him on the jaw. So Orange Cassidy was holding his jaw throughout the match. This was okay. Didn't really care too much about it. Best friends won, so it is what it is. It was all right. Nothing to write home about for me, at least. But of course, they did announce that Pac versus Orange Cassidy would happen, and Chuck Taylor with the line of the night saying that Pac better be careful because Orange Cassidy is actually going to try. So Pac is dead. At Come Revolution, Pac is going to die. So rest in peace, Pac. It's been great knowing you, but your time has come. Next up, we had what I think was the best women's match AEW has put off so far. It was Big Swole versus Hikaru Shida versus Shana versus Yuka Sakazaki, who has very awesome theme music. She has like an anime-inspired theme music. One thing to note here, it really showed the different contrast of styles between the American style, between the Western style of wrestling and the Japanese style of wrestling, where Japanese, where Western style is very safe and to an extent safer, whereas Japanese style is just full contact. It was really cool to see the shoot style wrestling versus work style wrestling. Really, that's kind of what it was, and it was great. And all four of these women putting it on the line. Shauna, by the way, is also a babe, and I love her as well. And also the fact that she loves Dragon Ball Z, a woman after my own heart, even though she has a boyfriend. Yeah, it was great though. I thought it was awesome. This was, like I said, the best showing of women's wrestling I've seen so far from AEW. So I think it should only go up from here, right? I hope. Here's hoping, So we'll see. We will definitely see. Real good stuff. The match finally ended when Shida did pin. Yeah, Shida did pin Big Swole with after a knee strike. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Really trying to set up the landscape of the women's division after after the Revolution, and who will face off who will be in the women's title picture next. And I do think Shida would be the right call. Next up, finally, we had our main event. Now, it was not a match. This was a weigh-in. It was like a MMA style weigh-in with a bunch of guys, a bunch of officials, a couple of gorgeous models in there. And we had Tony Schiavone and another gentleman, Tony Schiavone and another announcer, Gary Michael Chapetta, who was a WCW commentator. So yeah, I mean, that was cool. We had Gary tell Jericho to go first, but then Jericho got on the mic and said, "This is why WCW failed. You know that the champion always goes last." So Moxley went up first. He is absolutely looking in amazing shape, obviously. Chris Jericho took his sweet time to get into the ring, to get onto the scale. He got onto the scale, then he got off, took off the title, gave it to Santana or Ortiz, one of them. Then got back on the scale, and he's like, "Oh wait!" Then he got off, took off his bandana, gave it to the Inner Circle. Gets back up. Then he removes his jacket, and then he just gets in Moxley's face, who headbutts him, and then the Inner Circle just beat the shit out of Moxley. Out comes Dustin to take out Jake Hager because they're gonna have a match at Revolution. Sammy comes in to try to save the day again, but he also is whooped. Yeah, he is whooped by Sammy Guevara. The numbers game does get to be too much. Finally, Jericho and Moxley do fight for a little bit. Mox tries to go for the paradigm shift onto Jericho, but Santana comes in, low blows Moxley. This allows Jericho to get hit the Judas effect. Then he grabs Moxley and goes for, getting a lot of notifications on my watch. But then he grabs Moxley, goes up to the scale, and hits a paradigm shift of his own onto Moxley to end AEW Dynamite. So great way to end Dynamite. Very, very awesome show. Loved every single bit of it. Now, You know what? I will definitely say AEW did win this week. I think the matches were really good and the storylines progressed very well. NXT had some good matches, absolutely, but the storylines are just now starting to progress. So I guess as the weeks go, the shows will become, the quality of the show will increase just a little bit more. But for now, I really liked AEW Dynamite this week, and I'm really looking forward to Revolution. Speaking of which, AEW Revolution is this Saturday, and here are all the people who I think should and will win at Revolution. So let's get started. Oh man, throat's getting dry. So I'm going to be quick about this. Okay, so let's talk about the first match: Pac versus freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy. Now, this match, like I said, was just announced yesterday on Dynamite. Should be an interesting match. This actually has been building for a while. Just a little bit. If you know, on AEW Dark, Pac teamed up with the Hybrid 2 to take on Orange Cassidy and the Best Friends. So, excuse me. So that was cool. Oh, geez, I'm sorry. So I think that, but I don't really know. I would love personally. Obviously, I joke around saying, "Oh yeah, man, Pac is gonna die," and the most devastating, most brutal wrestler is Orange Cassidy. But if we're all joking aside, I do think Pac is going to win this one. Although I would love for it to be, I think Orange Cassidy should win, but I think Pac will win. Just cause. Pac is the one with a little bit more momentum than Cassidy, and I think we should keep it going. He could be next in line for the AEW championship. So, or I hope that I would really love for them to reveal a mid-card title at some point. Hopefully a Double or Nothing. If not, here, frankly. Anyway, so next up, it was announced earlier today, actually, that the Dark Order will be taking on SCU. I believe it's on the buy-in, so that should be interesting. I do think Dark Order is going to win this because of the Exalted One and everything. Now, I want to take a minute and talk about this, okay? Who should be the Exalted One? Now, I did mention earlier in the video in the stream that Lance Archer has been signed to AEW and Matt Hardy, his contract is up in March. So people are looking at mainly Matt Hardy to be the Exalted One. Now, this week in AEW, we did have a promo from Dark Order talking about SCU and saying that when Christopher Daniel is there, he will become the Exalted One, will make him obsolete. So another hint at broken Matt Hardy. And but at the same time, Evil Uno did make a post where he did mention everybody dies, which is the catchphrase of one Lance Archer. I believe Evil Uno or somebody, Evil Uno, I think he wrote "Join Dark Order" in binary. And Sami Callihan of Impact fame, he's going to be he's a free agent, I believe. He is also wrote in binary on his bio. He wrote "Find Me" in binary. So they've linked. So people have linked Sami Callihan to be the Exalted One. Now, of course, in case it didn't say my prediction, I do think that the Dark Order is going to win. Excuse me. So there's that. But I feel so. Who should be the Exalted One, in my opinion? So personally, I know I think it's going to be, my personal opinion, I'm going to start with who I think it's actually going to be and who I think it should be, okay? Personally, I do think that it's going to be broken Matt Hardy. There's been quite a bit of hints on the Dark Order side, Evil Uno's side, and even on Matt Hardy's side that he is the Exalted One. I would be okay with it. However, I think that there's a better choice. And let's kind of talk about this for a sec. So I don't think Sami Callihan is going to be the Exalted One. I don't think it really makes sense for his character, because Sammy Callahan is basically like a street thug. That's what I've seen from him. And the Dark Order is actually like a well-oiled machine. They're actually like a cult. They're and they're a lot more polished than Callahan is, right? That leaves, of course, Broken Matt Hardy. I could see Broken Matt Hardy as well. However, when Broken Matt Hardy first started, he was very, he was kind of a heel for a little bit. Then he turned face shortly after. But Broken Matt Hardy, after, he's had vignettes on the Hardy compound where he's got a pet giraffe, named George Washington. He's got a kangaroo named Joe Frazier, after the boxer. And hell, the man has a drone named Vanguard 1 and a dilapidated boat called Skarsgård. That's pretty. It's very hokey and it's very silly in a very good way. By the way, it's in a good way. Just saying that. Like Broken Matt Hardy is a joke, and again in a good way. Broken Matt Hardy is a little bit more lighthearted. He's more comical. You're not supposed to take him seriously. Dark Order is meant to be taken very seriously. Dark Order is actually a force to be reckoned with. Okay, they're dangerous. They're scary. They are they are very and they're very dominant in the ring. So yeah, that's and their whole quest is like they want power. Matt Hardy doesn't want that. He's got all the power in the world. So I don't think, and plus, like I said, Matt Hardy's character, Broken Matt Hardy, is a bit of a goofy character. It's more comical than serious. Which leaves me with Lance Archer, the Murder Hawk. He, in my opinion, should be the Exalted One. Because Lance Archer, first of all, is extremely intimidating. He is very dominant in the ring. And he scares little children. Okay? And he can be very scary. Everything that the Dark Order is, it's basically Lance Archer. Okay? I also think that he bears a lot of similarities to The Undertaker. I'm not saying he is the next Undertaker, but the similarities are there. He's got the height. He's got the in-ring agility that the Undertaker. He's a big guy, and he's also fast, like the Undertaker was back in the day. Even now, Undertaker still, he's still got the speed. Even though he's old, but he's got speed, power moves, and all that good stuff. He also has lead. He also. I think his gear is somewhat similar to Undertaker back when he was with the Ministry of Darkness, back when he was leading the Ministry of Darkness with the sleeveless trench coat with the the kind of like sharp shoulder pads and everything right there. That looks very similar to something Lance Archer would wear. And what Lance Archer wears now is very similar to what the Undertaker would have worn when he was with the Ministry. And he led the Ministry until, of course, Vince McMahon was revealed as the higher power. That's another story. But until then, the person everyone looked up to, the person everyone was, looking to for direction in the Ministry was the Undertaker. And I think Lance Archer, even though he was part of Suzuki-gun in Japan, he broke out on his own. He would have done fine on his own. And I think that he's definitely more of a leader than a follower. Okay. The only reason he's following Suzuki is because he knows Suzuki will murder him in his sleep if he doesn't do what he says. But anyway, that's another story. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's it. The real Exalted One is Minoru Suzuki, everybody. That's it. That's what's happening. No, I'm kidding. No, it's not Minoru Suzuki. He's with Suzuki-gun, so that's fine. I think it should be Lance Archer. I think it would make a lot more sense. I feel like their Dark Order and Lance Archer are a lot more compatible than Broken Matt Hardy and the Dark Order. But if it is Broken Matt Hardy, I wouldn't feel too bad. That's just me. All right. But that's what I think. Of course, like I said, SCU is not winning this match. It's Dark Order. And I think it should be Lance Archer, who's the Exalted One. But I think it's going to be Broken Matt Hardy. Even though Matt Hardy, technically, February, the Saturday is his final day with WWE. But here's the thing, though. He's still technically, that for that 24 hours, he's still signed with WWE. So I don't know if they will allow him to show up at Revolution. They could be super petty and tell him that no, you have a 90-day no compete clause. If he does that, they say, oh, you broke out of your contract too early, so we're gonna give you a 90-day no compete clause. They could totally do that because WWE is petty like that. I hope that's not the case. I hope they just let him go. I hope they just say, okay, look, you want to leave? Go, fine, leave, and show up in AEW. Like I hope they do that. They let him go and do what he's got to do. However, I have another idea. Lance Archer should lead the Dark Order. Broken Matt Hardy should still be in AEW. He should feud with the Dark Order. I have a fantasy booking idea for that too. So I have two booking ideas for you guys: the Exalted one and what's it called? The Balor Club. So if you want either of those two, let me know in the comments or let me know in the chat if you'd love to see a fantasy booking thing down the line. But anyway, that's kind of what I think about the Dark Order thing. I was on it for too long, so let's kind of move a little bit quicker. Darby Allin taking on Sammy Guevara. This happened when Sammy Guevara attacked what's his face? Darby and took his skateboard and hit Darby on the neck with it. So now Darby can't speak for a little bit. But yeah, now, and he's been putting out vignettes, which were threatening Sammy Guevara. So finally, this match is coming to a head at Revolution. Darby Allin is going to murder Sammy Guevara, and he should murder Sammy Guevara, especially if he's putting milk first in cereal. Anyway, I'm going to keep coming back to that because that's some bullshit. No, I'm just kidding. But no, Sammy Guevara should lose. Not Sammy Guevara. Darby Allin should and will win this match. Let's talk about Jake Hager taking on Dustin Rhodes. This happened after Jake Hager broke Dustin's arm at the behest of Chris Jericho. I love Dustin to death. I think he's great, and I think he should win this match. However, it is also Jake Hager's debut match, and it's also his it is his debut match in AEW. So I think that Jake Hager will win. I would be okay with either. I'm not too picky about it. Moving on to the AEW Women's Title, Women's Championship. You know what? I keep looking at it on my laptop. I'm just gonna look at it on my phone. So, then we have Nyla Rose taking on Chris Statlander for the AEW Women's Championship. Now, I said this before and I'll say it again. I think that they gave Nyla the title too early. They should have had Riho. It should have been Riho versus Nyla Rose at Revolution, where Nyla finally took the title off of Riho. That would have been fine. But I wish they did it, but they did it 2 weeks earlier. Maybe because Riho is possibly going back to Japan to do some shows there. If that's the case, then fine. But I personally think that it would have been a much better story and a much better way to do things if Riho and Nyla fought at Revolution and Nyla took the title off of Riho there. So, but either way, we're getting Chris Statlander and Nyla Rose. I really like Chris Statlander. I think she's awesome. She's a very talented woman. So I wish that it could be Chris Statlander. I think it should be Chris Statlander, but it is Nyla's first defense. So she needs to be a dominant champion. So I think it's going to be Nyla Rose. So it should be Chris Statlander, but it will be Nyla Rose. So that's what I think. Moving on to Cody taking on MJF, the grudge match. This is going to be so damn emotional. I can't believe it. Cody's got Arn Anderson in his corner. Wardlow is on MJF's corner. After Cody Rhodes went through that hellacious steel cage match and taking 10 lashes from MJF, that sniveling, conniving heel MJF, I think it would be great to see Cody finally overcome MJF and move on to something else. However, Cody doesn't really. Again, another reason why AEW needs a mid card title. So, but I do think that they are definitely doing a good job of building up MJF as a formidable heel, and he's a formidable heel. He's a douchebag. He's a piece of trash, but he is very good in the ring. He can wrestle actually, but so maybe, and also because Cody does like putting other stars over, I do feel like MJF is going to win this. There were a couple of rumors that Arn Anderson would turn on Cody. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it would become too predictable. You have MJF turning on Cody, then you have Arn turning on Cody. Like, then who the hell can he trust? I do feel like Arn is going to deliver a giant spine buster to Wardlow, though. That would be cool. My personal pipe dream: Wardlow takes out Arn Anderson, and the referee is distracted, and the referee and the officials are looking to Arn Anderson and tending to him, and then Wardlow and MJF beat up on Cody, and then out from the crowd comes Brian Cage to beat up on both MJF and Cody. No, both MJF and Wardlow, and then Cody delivers the crossroads just in time for another official to come in and to give the pinfall victory to Cody. That's a pipe dream. That's probably not going to happen. That would be cool, but it's not going to happen. So I think it should be Cody, but I think it will be MJF. So moving on to Kenny Omega and Hangman Page, the tag team champions, taking on the Young Bucks, who won a battle royal to get this opportunity. So this should be a very athletic match, an in-ring, athleticism centered match. But it's also going to be very emotional because, Hangman is trying to distance himself from the elite, but circumstances keep continuing to bring him towards them. So I think that the Young Bucks should and will win this match because Kenny and Hangman will have some miscommunication, and Kenny and Hangman will lose the titles, and Hangman will turn heel on Kenny, and we'll get that feud going in towards AEW's Double or Nothing. So that should be a good match. Again, another reason why they need to reveal a mid-card title. Anyway, if they reveal it here at Revolution, that can be the match: Kenny versus Hangman for the mid-card title, which in my opinion should be the Intercontinental title. But a TV title, a North American title, a United States title, any of those are fine too. Just something else for the mid-card, going forward. And finally, our main event, we have Le Champion, Chris Jericho. Here, let me take a little bit of the bubbly. I'm finished with it, actually. So, Chris Jericho, Le Champion, taking on the purveyor of violence himself, Jon Moxley. This match, the build to this match has been awesome. We had that amazing thing where, Jon Moxley outsmarted the Inner Circle, making them think that he was joining them, but he wasn't. Then, Chris Jericho poking out the eye of Jon Moxley, then Mox poking Santana's eye out. So both those men have eye patches. So yeah. Now, I think now this is going to be really good. Now, Jericho has had Jericho has had an amazing run with the title. I think he's done a really good job. And I think that he's going to go down as one of the best AEW champions. And by the way, Chris Jericho is looking really good. By the way, he's looking ripped. He's looking like a lot more. He's lost a lot more weight, and he looks good. He really does look really good. Anyway, I do think that there is a chance Jericho could win this, but I don't think it's going to happen. They've been building up Moxley too well to finally let this momentum go. So I mean, come on. This is AEW. This isn't another million. It's not like AEW is having their show at Saudi Arabia. So yeah. But anyway, it's not like they're doing that. It's not like they're at the beck and call of a spoiled brat Saudi prince who wants to see all these old dudes go over these young dudes because, glory days of wrestling and nostalgia and all that crap. Anyway, I don't want to get into that. I don't want to talk about that at all. But anyway, I do feel like Jericho has done everything for that title and brought a lot of prestige to it. It's time for him to move on to something else. So with that being said, I'm going to take a risk here. I'm going to say that Jon Moxley should and will win the title at Revolution. And he'll go on to have a very good run, I think. Now, those are my predictions. That is who should win and who will win at AEW Revolution. And that, ladies and gentlemen, brings the NerdyMark Super Show to a conclusion. We went an hour and 10 minutes. Holy crap. So thank you for sticking around and watching, or if you are going to watch this later on, let me know, all that good stuff. And yeah, so let me know all those things. What are your predictions for Revolution? Who do you think is going to be the exalted one? All that good stuff. What do you what do you think is next for Matt Hardy, I guess? So let me know all that stuff in the comment section below. I may do these once every month if some big pay-per-view is happening, especially. I'll do these like I said, I may do this once every month. So we'll see. But yeah, with that being said, though, thank you all for watching once again. So enjoy Revolution this weekend, and I'll see you guys next week for another AEW and NXT review, and hopefully an anime review next weekend. But with that being said, this is Sid signing off. You guys take care. Bye-bye.